Thank you, Susie. Cliff, wow, you continue to impress me week after week, and I think it was really cool this time because we just saw you do your speech last week, and to even see the improvement just in the last 7 days, I think is really what this club is about. You were on speech number 6, and again, that is vocal variety, as a reminder to everyone. So I will begin by talking about some of the objectives that you were supposed to do during the speech. The first one was to choose a subject that calls for vocal variety. And health insurance, typically you wouldn't think that that would call for a lot of vocal variety. Most people probably think insurance, oh Lord. But it actually really worked well because, you know, even with your introduction, you laid yourself out as an expert, and your voice conveyed the fact that you were an expert and that you were going to break down some of the mystifying facts or misfacts about health insurance. So I think you did that really well. It was a subject that involved a great deal of description, and so your voice, the way that you used some of the volume, for example, you talked about how you wanted to throw something at the TV, and you emphasized certain words that they don't know what they're talking about. And that volume between speaking the way that you normally speak and throwing out those emphasized words really helped to drive home your point. The rate of your speech, I think it was appropriate. It was slow enough for us to follow along and understand some of the more complex top details that you discussed. So I think that was perfect. I would have liked to see you maybe vary it just a bit more, maybe just speak a little bit faster in certain parts, just so that the pace and the gait of the speech would keep us a little bit more engaged in hearing the difference in there. Pauses, I think with the way that you speak, you naturally pause in the right places. So I think that it was appropriate, and I don't necessarily think you threw in many pauses to go above and beyond what you normally do. I would have liked to see maybe some rhetorical questions where you pause for 2 or 3 seconds and really let your point sink in a little bit more. So to wrap up, what I loved about, excuse me, what I loved about your speech was your confidence and ease. I heard you say afterwards that you wanted to see if you could do a unprepared, prepared speech, and I think you definitely did that. And actually, I thought that you did it with more ease than you typically do. So I think that actually was a plus. One thing that I would suggest is just your posture. You often do put your hand right here and your left hand in your pocket. So just be careful of that, or you steeple your fingers, which many of us do, but just, you know, be aware of that. And what I think you did best was just the progression that I've seen over the past few months. It totally embodies what Toastmasters is all about, and I, for one, am extremely proud of you. Thank you.
Our next evaluator evaluating Diane's first speech is Steve.